Good evening, Husker Nation. I'm David Sotek, reporting from our studio, and the Sports Ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. First, Husker Baseball released their fall schedule for the upcoming season today, featuring 2 exhibitions and, of course, the annual Red-White Series. The first matchup is on September 27th at Wichita State, and the next at home on October 11th against UNO. Shortly thereafter, the Red-White Series kicks off through October 13th through the 15th, and all games at Haymarket Park are open to the public and attendance is free. Yesterday, number 1 ranked Nebraska Volleyball hosted number 6 Stanford in Pinnacle Bank Arena as part of the AVCA First Serve, and the top-ranked Huskers wasted no time in sweeping the Cardinals in 3 straight sets, 25-13, 25-19, and 25-14, respectively. Hitting percentages were fantastic for Nebraska, reaching .385, while they held Stanford to .094. Also, the Huskers racked up 46 kills in the game, with the leaders in the category being Ali Czech with 12, Rebecca Alec with 11, and Harper Murray with 10. And finally, some MLB scores from around the country. The Battle of the Bees, Boston, headed out to Baltimore to face against the Orioles. It's the bottom of the second, and the Red Sox have the early lead 1-0. Over in Cleveland, the Guardians are hosting Tampa Bay to face off against the Rays. It's the top of the second, and it is scoreless at the moment. And also, the Atlanta Braves didn't have to travel far to face off against Miami to go against the Marlins, and it is the bottom of the second and scoreless through that game as well. The Sports Ticker was brought to you by the Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Coming up next is the first hour of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Creighton's got it. Center jump. Kendra, wait, no. Nebraska bumps it again. Harper for the match. Off the ticket out. Call the grandkids. They did it. 15-10. Set 5. Nebraska keeps beating Creighton. 23-0 all time. That was a volleyball match.
Gets the snap. Back to throw, steps, throws, intercepted, picked off Malcolm Hartzog at the Nebraska 43-yard line. It's his 4th career INT.
Horn has the sign. He comes set, and the 3-2 pitch. Popped up, playable, shallow left. Carey makes the call, backing up, and he makes the catch on his 118th pitch. Ty Horn has 8 shutout here in the championship.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
Kyle, it's game week.
It's here.
It is game week, finally.
It's been a long wait. It's been a long wait. Not as long for me because I came here late in the process, but for you who covered spring ball and, you start the countdown the minute the Pinstripe Bowl ends.
Yes.
To get to kickoff, and we're going to have one more preview today for Cincinnati, right? We'll fit that in, finish up sort of our overlook on Cincinnati. But the previews are over, and we're ready to go.
It's been, you and I have been chatting about this. I feel like it's been a couple weeks. I talked to a couple of players today. They're ready to hit somebody else. I'm ready to talk about something else, right? Other than the previews and what does all this look like. I know we had a 2-deep released over the weekend. There's captains for the first time. A lot to get into, but I'm glad that it's finally we got a game to kick off. And what's crazy with it being a Thursday night game, this is really our only show this week because tomorrow night we'll have Troy Dannon in for the first hour, Danny Busboom Kelly in for the second hour. So that takes up all of Sports Nightly. On Wednesday, we'll be traveling down to Cincinnati to get the booth set up your first time. So you want to get in there, make sure everything's ready to roll. Nick Hanley's going to fill in for us. We'll have picks. Camden's going to be doing the blitz. We have lots to get to on Wednesday. So really, if you think about it, this is it for us to talk about it.
This is it. So get your texts in, get your YouTube comments if you want to talk to us, because tomorrow will be, obviously, you mentioned Troy and Danny will be in studio, but this is our one big, I guess, preview show, our one last hurrah before we get in the car and head towards Kansas City. And I'm just excited to see that stadium because, Troy had said in his press conference it's probably going to be 10-1 Husker fans. So essentially, and this is, we're not breaking any news, it's going to be essentially a Husker home game, and it's going to be in what has been the center of the NFL with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, and it's going to be the center of the college football world, right? 8 o'clock Central Time, ESPN. You're going to have all the eyes of the entire nation watching that game, and you want to show out.
I know it's also cut day today for NFL rosters. Searles talked a lot about these next couple of days being crazy for him, and the news is starting to trickle in. And how about John Bullock? Jenna Lane of ESPN is reporting just about 45 or so minutes ago that the Bucs have informed him, John Bullock, that he's made the 53-man roster. And it was a very competitive preseason battle, but a couple people commenting on that post that he won it because of how he played in special teams. So congratulations. That's the first Husker that I've seen come across my timeline that's officially on that 53-man roster.
And it's almost what we talked about, I think, when Mike Eckler took the podium about the importance of special teams, that a lot of these guys aren't, if they're going to make an NFL roster and you're not a high draft pick, what's the way to get on an NFL roster? That's through special teams. So you look at an undrafted rookie linebacker and John Bullock making that initial 53-man roster, and his dreams now come true through the energy that he provides in that third phase of the game. Really cool news.
I know since you've been here, and I've joked about it with you, that a lot has been talked about Nash and Ty, but John Bullock has a big role to fill for this group too. He did a lot of things very well, was the leader, was the quarterback of this defense last year. So, filling his void is also going to be a big task coming Thursday night as well. The other big news is mentioned Akron, officially a sellout coming up.
404 in a row now.
Yep, 404. So never any doubt, but it's official just in the last couple of minutes that that is officially sold out. So we had a show on Thursday night. We were off the air on Friday because of volleyball. And we're going to talk volleyball lots coming up here, a lot more and coming up in hour number 2. But the depth chart has been released. Any surprises for you jumping out there?
Looking at it, I kind of sensed the left tackle position was trending in the direction that we were going to see. I think Nwaneri being an or with Cam Lenhart. So now a lot of this stuff is, Cam Lenhart might in the end play more snaps than Nwaneri. I don't think there was an or here, but Elijah Judy as the starting nose tackle, Riley Van Poppel is that number 2, Keona Davis, that starting defensive tackle. I think that was probably, unless I'm missing something, maybe some of the biggest surprises. Not necessarily surprises because we've been around practice, but some of the things that were eye-popping. But in the end, it comes down to snap counts, and when you look after the game, does the depth chart really matter in some of these cases? The answer is probably no.
I think, again, another thing we were talking about trending towards that direction, number 2 quarterback listed behind Dylan Raiola is indeed TJ Lateef. Yeah,
and we saw him take a lot of the 2 snaps in practice. So for us, it was no surprise that TJ was going to be the number 2 quarterback. I think, and Coach Rule echoed this, just he provides a little bit more in terms of athleticism. Now, that's, again, break glass in case of emergency. If TJ Lateef is quarterbacking this team in anything that's not a lopsided game, then there's an issue. I'll tell you one thing that stood out for me that I missed. Jordan Ochoa as the number 2 at the jack position. So Dasan McCullough, he's at that top spot. His dad actually played for the Kansas City Chiefs, and he was born in Cincinnati. So it was a pretty cool link for McCullough as he heads into his final season. But McGahee being listed as the 3rd guy at that jack position. Dylan Rogers will play a role as well at that spot. But I think that was noticeable that Jordan Ochoa has made such a jump in fall camp.
The tackle spot, I know, is another big topic that people have pointed to, and I still think that's very much, we'll see. I mean, that's one of the things that when you and I talk before the pregame, I'll be keeping a close eye out on to see how that unfolds. But Gunnar Gatula battling it out, Elijah Pritchett still in there, and Turner Corcoran's coming off that injury. They were able to be patient with him, and you can't beat that experience. I think that's starting to show for them.
Yeah, he was on that exercise bike for a lot of the early portion of fall camp. He was in that green jersey, and Well, that's changed now. He's seen some reps at left tackle, left guard, and he's one of those versatile pieces. I think you'll see Turner. I think you'll see Elijah at some point. I think you just got to get a little bit more comfortable, Elijah Pritchett, in terms of, new setting for him. And there's some guys that have a little bit more experience in front of him. I think you'll see Tyler Canuck, who's seen a lot of reps with the twos at some point. Not everybody's going to stay healthy. Football is a brutal game. We all know that. And the one thing I'll say, and I said on the radio earlier today in one of my radio hits, is that there's a lot of depth, and we've been talking about it for a month now. So that's a good sign when you can have 3 left tackles listed that you'd be confident in.
Well, and that's it. Dana Holgerson he was asked about it, of course, again today, and he said it's a luxury I've never been able to have 5 solid tackles that we believe could play. So it's a very good problem to have, and as you mentioned, I mean, since I've been here, haven't gone through a season that you haven't needed a tackle. So, it's great that they have a lot of guys, and it's great that they've all been getting a lot of reps, because I think that's another thing you can attest to is that they have rotated these guys in. Heinrich Haarberg, who we're going to hear from in just a little bit, he told me since he's been here, and he said nothing against the guys that have been here before, but just to the level of talent and depth, he said the ones will go off and the twos will come in, and it's like you sometimes can't even tell the difference between the ones and twos. And to Searle's point that he's made multiple times, that's where you've done things right, is when those backups there's not a huge drop-off when those guys run out there. And
you're going to need them. And in Coach Rule in year 3, we know this is the best roster that he's had. And with that you're going to have more depth. And especially in Heinrich's case in the tight end room, there's a lot of depth that we're counting on this season. Of course, Mac Markway going down on the first day of camp, but Luke Lindenmeyer and Carter Nelson, 2 guys that are set to have big years. So that room that he resides in currently, I think, is probably one of the deepest.
So another big news items that happened over the weekend is that Huskers have captains this year. In the past with Coach Rule, it's been they voted on those single-digit guys, and then they've rotated those game day captains, so the guys that went out for the coin toss. I'm not sure. I asked if that will be the same, if he will still rotate, or if it will be those guys. I think we'll find that out here soon. But captains have been selected, and that's what he's even said in his speech. This is my first time doing this, so it's Sierra Wright, Marquise Buford Jr., Dane Key, Deshaun Singleton, Dylan Raiola, and Henry Lutovsky. And so a lot of those guys are the single-digit guys. And I think that will still continue to be a tradition, as Coach Rule talked about why he instilled that tradition. Was there's a lot of young guys came in and, hey, I want to be this number, and you might give it to them or promise it to them without having ever played in a single game. But some of the older guys that want that number as well, still give them a chance to earn it. So I think it will still be a big tradition. But I think it's pretty interesting. You and I were texting about this, but Dylan Raiola, I'm sure he was voted on one, but he has a brand now around 15 in this day and age. I think Emmett Johnson, he sold a lot of the jerseys and T-shirts as well with that 21. And so when guys come in and build their brand, it might not be something they might have ties to a number that's not a single digit, but here's an opportunity for them to still represent as a leader. And I was also telling you, since I've been here, offensive lineman has been voted a single digit honorary every single year, but they can't wear that number. So here's another chance for an offensive lineman to also serve as a captain, a leader of this group. There's
a lot of reasons why you would wear a number. There could be a brand attachment or an emotional attachment. For Dylan, he wears that 15 because Tim Tebow is somebody that he looked up to for a long time, and you're right. Well, there's a lot of people that have 21 T-shirts and jerseys. There's a lot of people that have 15 jerseys and T-shirts, and you think about them a little bit. But so they had to. I was watching the video, and I'm sure everybody out there probably has seen it. If you have not, you can go on Nebraska Football's Twitter, and they have it there. But they have to sign a proclamation, all the captains, to, of course, as they bestow the honor upon them. But I don't think there's any surprises there. And I think you almost forget the fact that Dylan is only a sophomore, right? There's so much expected of him to be this great quarterback, one of the top quarterbacks in the nation, but also be this leader. And somebody that I've seen when I talk to him at Big Ten Media Days, I see him at practice, he's so far above being a 20-year-old, right? He almost acts, he performs as somebody who's in their 30s, who's seen it. And part of it is who his family is, right? He grew up around it. It's baked into his DNA. And that's what you want in a quarterback, somebody who knows exactly what it takes to be a leader. I think it was really cool for Dylan to get that honor. And then you look at some of the newcomer in Dane Key. I think he's made his impact known right away as soon as he's been on campus. Dylan was very big in getting him here, but for him to be in Lincoln for such a short time and become a team captain, I think says a lot about Dane Key's character and work ethic. Absolutely.
You know, with Dylan, I was just thinking a lot of people could say, "Man, are you growing up too fast?" But he genuinely loves it. I was listening to him today talk to the ESPN folks, but then after that, he's goofing off with Dane Key while they were waiting to do their press conference. Like he just, this is fun for him, and he really enjoys the grind. So it's not like he's getting in over his head, doing too much, growing up too fast, because he truly is enjoying, I think, this moment, and this is fun for him.
I think part of it is the standard and the culture that Matt Rule has built, allowing guys like Dylan to be themselves, allowing guys like Emmett to be themselves. And there's a lot of different personalities in a massive locker room that is any college football program. But Coach Rule, I think he fosters that. He fosters that, hey, we're not going to put all the pressure on one guy. And we had Coach Rule in here for his coaches show last week. We had referenced the weight of the world on the shoulders of a 20-year-old young man in Dylan Raiola. And the way that he just goes about his business, I think it's because, one, he's more confident as a person and as a player with a year of development. But everything they've put around him I think is going to make him better. I think he just feels more confident with all the pieces and all the relationships that he's created that surround him in that offensive room, and especially what he's gone up against in practice on this defense.
All right, let's go ahead and get to a break. We have media availability from today, heard from both the coordinators. Again, a little bit of a wonky week with the Thursday night kickoff. Typically, Monday nights would be a Matt Rule availability. Tuesday nights would be the coordinators. But being with the shift of the schedule tonight, we're going to hear from the coordinators. So we'll hear from both John Butler and Dana Holgerson as they get ready for kickoff. Game number 1 coming up on Thursday. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
We just want to have enough money for retirement.
And travel to visit our grandchildren.
I understand. That's why at Fisher Investments, we start by getting to know each other, so I can learn about your family, lifestyle, goals and needs, allowing us to tailor your portfolio.
What about commission-based products?
We don't sell those. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in your best interest.
So how do your management fees work?
We have a simple management fee based on the value of your portfolio. So we do better when you do better.
We appreciate that kind of transparency.
We also check in with you regularly to keep you up to date on the markets and your portfolio.
Well, what other services do you offer?
As a client, you have access to resources on investing, financial planning, estate planning, Social Security, Medicare, and more.
Wow, sounds like Fisher Investments has everything we need.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
This summer, step into elevated luxury at Woodhouse Lincoln. Right now, during the Lincoln Summer Invitation Sales Event, you'll receive 0% APR for up to 48 months on all 2025 Lincoln Nautilus inventory, plus an available 90-day deferred first payment and a 2-year 25,000 miles premium maintenance plan included. Browse our inventory in-store or online today. Woodhouse Lincoln, the Omaha Metro's exclusive Lincoln dealer. With approved credit, must finance with Lincoln Automotive Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires August 31st, 2025. See dealer for details.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Greatness doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, focus, and dedication. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that because we put in the hard work and dedication for decades. And that commitment is paid off with award-winning customer service for your auto, home, and life insurance.
See Agent Matt Moorhead or Joanne Shamanek in Lincoln or Scott Jeffers in McCook today.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture. Much more. Akrs solutions for every field. Welcome back to the Sports Nightly with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. Had a media availability today with the coordinators. We're going to start tonight hearing from the defensive coordinator, John Butler. And we're going to start with, as we prepare for Cincinnati, Kyle did a deep dive into the quarterback last week. He's going to be a challenge, going to be a handful as this defense prepares for Brendan Sorsby. So Coach Butler was asked what has stood out to him as he dives into the film on Sorsby.
Very athletic, very strong as a runner, very competitive. I think we've seen him slide twice maybe. So when he runs, whether it's a designed run, a scramble, he's trying to get and fight for every yard. So you can tell he's tough and competitive, which I think we've done a good job of making sure that our players see that and know that. You always got to know the type of animal you're hunting, so to speak. And he's big, strong, runs hard. He's tough. He delivers the blow more so than he takes hits. So that's a challenge physically that we've got to answer early to make sure that that doesn't get out of hand.
Yeah, that's going to be the hardest part, especially game one now. You have to face a dual threat quarterback, which forces you into containment, knowing your assignment, especially those guys at the jack position, to make sure that you're hemming him in. You don't necessarily know how much he's going to be a runner here in game one. I think it's overall a Cincinnati offense that's more explosive than it was last year. We went through the wide receivers last week. It's one of the faster trio, the starting trio of wide receivers in Cyrus Allen, Caleb Goody, and Jeff Caldwell, and that's a really fast group that can get vertical and get downfield. So you have that aspect of stretching out the defense, and then you always have to have a spy on Brendan Sorsby. A dual-threat quarterback who had 9 rushing touchdowns last year can make you tear your hair out if you're a defensive coordinator, especially in game one. Yeah,
it's a nightmare. Hate facing those kinds of quarterbacks. So, Kyle, last year with John Butler and watching him on the sideline, I mean, this was somebody that was coaching and teaching from the second those defensive backs stepped onto the sideline until they were running out there to go back out and play defense again. I mean, looking at the iPads, coaching up guys individually. So that is one thing that I am fascinated to see, because even during the bowl game when he was the defensive coordinator, it was basically him and Rob Dvorak that were trying to coach it up because they were the two guys that were there. So he was still very much hands-on coaching the guys. So I can't wait to see what he's like on the sideline as the defensive coordinator. I got to imagine he's still going to be moving up and down. We heard Coach Rule say the other day he's definitely going to have a get-back coach. But he was asked about that. Coach Butler was asked about that, how and if he coaches differently as a coordinator rather than a position coach.
Yeah, I think you have to have a little bit of a different perspective because you're now looking at the whole thing as opposed to just, in my case, the 5 DBs. And you have to obviously take a little bit more of a global approach to solving problems. What's happening up front? Are we controlling the quarterback? Are we controlling the run game? How is our front, handling their offensive line? So yeah, I think it has to. So therefore, there's just so many more things you have to think about and adjust to. So you've just got to be more neutral, identifying what we're doing well, what we're struggling with, and how we can solve problems in a second. So yeah, anytime you're in charge of everything, you have to be a little bit more global and a little bit more neutral in how you're responding to things. So I think I did in the bowl game, and I'll have to do it here. I mean, my excitement level may get up every once in a while, but I'm going to do my best to remain flatlined.
It's funny hearing him at practice and hearing him there, just how kind of monotone he is, but how he really is we said it with Coach Rule. I mean, he's the 25,000 step a day guy. He's just always moving. He's always screaming. He's, like you said, coaching every single rep. He sees things so differently than most. But I think, this is clearly an important hire. When Tony White left, like Coach Rule said, I have to get this right. And it's clear that this is, I don't know how this is all going to shake out when it's all said and done, but it seems like the right fit at the right time for somebody who's been waiting for this opportunity to, like he said, take that global approach, be the CEO of one side of the ball. He hasn't done it since 2013, but he was able to lead one of the best secondaries in the NFL, the Buffalo Bills, one of the top passing defenses with the Houston Texans. So in his area of expertise in the secondary, he's been able to master that. Now can he take that next step as the CEO of the defense, the way he coaches, the way he communicates? My answer is yes, but you got to go and do it.
Yeah, we'll see how it all plays out on a game day, but I love the mentality that he's instilling, just that attack mode. You talk to players and they know, like, hey, we are going to go and play really, really hard. But another thing, too, is he was a part of this defense last year that did a lot of things really well. And so while he might have come in and had a different style of defense, a different total defense he wanted to maybe do as a coordinator, I think he saw the things that worked when he was a part of this defense too. And so a lot of the players telling me there's a lot of things that we do that's similar to last year. And so I think that speaks a lot of volumes about John Butler, is that whether it was exactly what he wanted to do or not, he came in and saw some things that worked really well and that the players responded to, and it worked well with the style that they want to play here, but also the personnel that you have, and he's utilizing a lot of that too.
I think a lot of guys really love him, and Coach Rule had mentioned one reference from a player, one referral, and Sierra Wright went up to Matt Rule and said, this is the guy that you have to hire. And Coach Rule listens to his players, and he listened to Sierra Wright, somebody who, stepped in as a starter and had a really good year and now has emerged as somebody who's one of the leaders of this team. These players, they play for John Butler. It's going to be fun to see the amount of different looks and fronts that you'll get with John Butler. He's very aggressive getting after the quarterback and blitzes and man-to-man coverage. How heavy blitz does he get after Brendan Sorsby in some of the early quarters of this game? How much does he let this defense settle in? You're going to see a lot of 3-front, 4-front. It's things that are going to really shift around. So it's going to be cool to see his brain go to work.
I think to your point about the defensive line earlier, that with the depth chart, you're going to see a lot of those guys. I don't think it doesn't matter.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter.
Starts because he's going to run a lot of guys out there.
You shift guys in and out in the defensive line, secondary. So we make so much of the depth chart. Everybody's going to play. It's the number of snaps in the end.
Yep. Okay, so this is another guy that Kyle really hit on that's going to be a handful for this defense, that tight end, Joe Royer. Coach Butler was asked about him, what he's seen out of him.
Yeah, I think he's a weapon for them. I think they move him around a lot. Like they're trying to get him in matchups against linebackers and maybe smaller safeties. He's adequate to above average in the run game. So that's sometimes you can evaluate a player of that nature, be like, he's just in there when it's pass, or he's not going to really be a front side blocker. He's good in the run game, so that helps him and makes it a little bit more challenging for us to game plan against him. But you can clearly see that that him and the quarterback are in sync, which which any good offense, like, you got to feel good about who you're throwing the ball to, not only his ability to get open, but also his ability to make contested catches. So I think that's going to be a challenge for us. I think we got some pretty good players in the secondary and then at linebacker that have some size and coverage ability. But I think that, the run game overall, the quarterback's ability to kind of be an equalizer, and then thirdly, like, how does their tight end continue to affect the passing game as it relates to their new players that they've just signed in the transfer portal, will be kind of the three things we're looking to figure out early in the game.
And Joe Royer is going to be huge. Travis Kelce will be in the house, as we all know. We have Taylor Swift watch as well as we go. But the tight end talk, whether it's the depth of Nebraska's group or Joe Royer, who right now they have him as late first-round draft pick, broke that single-season tight end reception record for Cincinnati. He could be a matchup. Good, versatile, athletic tight ends are matchup nightmares for defenses. But that's why you have somebody like Javen Wright, who has been called the cheat code. He'll play a big role in this game in terms of eyeing Joe Royer, but it's going to have to be a collective effort from those linebackers and safeties to try and find a way to get Joe Royer off his rhythm. But like John Butler said, they're going to move him around a lot because he'll be in there and run downs. He can block, but also if you put him in the slot, he can do a lot of different things to really put you in a tough spot.
Perfect week for Javen Wright to be the Cornhusker conversation.
Oh, that's what we call a transition, folks.
Yes, so you can tune in to Husker Game Day with Ben and Damon. That will be the featured Cornhusker conversation for the opener this week is Javen Wright. All right, so another thing we learned last week is that they went to the portal to bring in some weapons for Sorsby to throw the ball around to. A little bit lacking last year. So this is an unknown area as you dive into the film for Cincinnati. So Coach Butler was asked how he can get a scout on these new additions to the Cincinnati wide receiver corps.
We have video of all those players from their previous places, some more than others, some better quality than others. So you're really looking at it like you're evaluating them strictly on their skill set, really not how they've been used in that system, because that's not the system we're defending. It's clear that they wanted to improve their speed, because when you look at all those guys, they all clearly have some speed. They have the ability to kind of work vertically down the field, which we have to be alert and aware of. Easiest route to run in football is just a straight ahead go route. That's if you're fast, you can do that. So that's an area that we are aware of, and we know that they wanted to get better, and we feel like they're going to test us on that pretty early. And I'll have a pretty good vibe early on. Can our guys run with them? Can we cover them? And that will obviously affect how I call the game.
Yeah, so the aggression that we talked about going after Sorsby, a lot of it might be predicated on how many deep shots they're taking. I would not be surprised if you saw a first down from the 25 for Cincinnati, play fake, and just let that thing go downfield. Sometimes that first down shot to start a game can really put a defense on its heels, but that's where the safeties come in, the nickel and Malcolm Hartzog, to deal with the speed that they're going to face. It's a real deal trio. We mentioned the three guys before, and Jeff Caldwell is probably the fastest of those three. FCS transfer from Lindenwood. Some unproven guys at this level, but they're going to want to show out against Nebraska. But they have to make sure, one, contain the edges for the running quarterback, and then make sure that if you're a safety, you keep that guy in front of you. It's not going to be easy.
Hey, breaking news, our TV is working today. The big TV that Damon and all the guys are huge on and want to make sure that it's working, so that they will be happy to know that it is working. And we have got a great volleyball match on right now. I can't even listen to what you're saying. We've got set point. It's 25-24. Kansas leading Penn State here.
Where's John Baylor when you need him? He could be doing some play-by-play right now.
Wow.
For
so
us.
Kansas takes the second set, 26-24. So the match is tied 1-1. So Penn State took the first set. Kansas just takes set two.
That's in South Dakota, I believe, too. That's a part of the AVCA first serve, which we had here in Lincoln. I believe they're playing in South Dakota right now.
So a battle right now between Kansas and Penn State. Kansas 14, Penn State number 2, by the way. So, all right, let's get to a break. Coming up next, we're going to hear from the tight end, Heinrich Haarberg. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Set, hike. When champions take the field, they come ready to play. TNL Irrigation understands the value of momentum. Like a Husker drive, there's no stopping. If you live for farming and football like we do, TNL Irrigation has you covered. Check your fields from the game with a remote system, or just enjoy the play knowing our systems are reliable as a sold-out Memorial Stadium. Touchdown! Nebraska born, Nebraska strong. Husker Nation and TNL Irrigation are like no other.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Shop Woodhouse Mazda during the Mazda More to Move You sales event. Receive 1.9% APR for 60 months on the full lineup of 2025 Mazda CX-50s and Mazda CX-50 hybrids, plus no payments for 90 days. Visit us in Bellevue or off 144th and Giles Road today. With approved credit, tax title license extra. When financed through Mazda Financial Services. $299 doc fee due at signing. Offer expires 9/2/25. See dealer for details.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Tanya Blaine in Norfolk, Grant Wilbeck in Omaha, or Bud Morrell in Ocala.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns: a free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
In football and retirement, strategy wins. Stonebridge Wealth Systems Retirement Compass could be your winning strategy. Holistic planning with integrity for your future. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. We've got more breaking news as our guy Jim in Columbus has written another song. And
I can't wait.
It's another hit. We were listening to it during the break.
I sent it off to the Grammys right now.
Yes. I sent it to Damon because now Damon's included in it. The only thing, Jim, is Camden's a little disappointed you didn't include the producers or Joke of the Week in the line. So you might just have to keep writing songs to include everybody.
Do it. You could do a rap song, country song. You just do all the different genres, but it was a really good song. Pump me up. I'll listen to it before we hit the booth on Thursday.
We'll try to play a snippet of it here tonight if we could get it. If our producers, maybe if they're deserving to be in the song, they should be able to get it on the air.
Yeah, they might not want to
right?
air it. Camden's protesting right now.
All right, let's hear from the tight end, Heinrich Haarberg. I had a chance to chat with him after practice today. Here with Heinrich Haarberg, well, it's game week finally, kicking off this week. How does it feel?
Oh, it's super exciting. We're ready to play someone else.
What I guess this fall camp, how's it been for you? How do you feel like you've progressed in that tight end position?
Yeah, I think there's been a lot of physical and mental progressions, whether it be technique or just mindset and, learning kind of the mental side of playing tight end.
Does it feel any different going into a game with this position than it has in the past?
A little bit, but I think just maybe not as many responsibilities, and so it's a little different pressure. But I have one or two jobs on every play and got to perform them to the best of my ability.
You know this offense so well, the personnel so well, but overall, where you guys are at going into this first game, how do you like where this offense is? How confident are you guys in what you're going to put on display on Thursday?
Well, I think we're just gonna. I think what we've done all camp is just make the easy plays every single time. We're gonna run the ball for 4 yards of play, and eventually, one will pop for 50. We're gonna throw the ball and get easy completions, and then one will pop for 80. And that's just kind of what I think this offense is built to do. We're a mature offense that we're just gonna do what we have to do every single play.
Has that been a process? It's easy to say that, we're going to do the easy plays well, but to know that in your mind, we are so confident in those. What's that mind process like of knowing mentally you can execute those plays that you talk about?
Well, I think it's just repetitions over and over and over again. It hasn't been, camp has been a lot of just the same exact plays over and over. And there's days where like I've run this play, I think 40 times today. But, that's all part of it is just like trying to get to that point where no matter like how tired you are or what the situation is, you're going to execute that play.
I talked to you after the bowl win, and I think you're confident in your ability to catch the football, but the blocking, you're like, that's going to be a process. Where do you feel about where you are now after having this whole time to really focus on that? I mean, it's an ever ongoing process. You've been doing it for 8 months now, but there's still a lot of room for improvement, just like everywhere else in my game. But I feel like I've made a lot of strides in kind of the same thing what I was talking about, mentally and physically. When you go to block someone, you got to have the right mindset and the right technique. Since you've been here, where does this offensive line rank among just being talented and deep and ready to go come kickoff? Yeah, I think, across the board. No disrespect to any of the guys before, but I think this is the deepest and maybe one of the most talented O-lines we've had. It's kind of crazy to see, the first group come off, the second group go on. Sometimes you're like, which one's which? It's it's just an insanely deep O-line room that I think they're gonna maul everyone we play this year. So going into it facing Cincinnati, you just started kind of diving into the prep. What are going to be the keys? I'm sure a lot of it's what you've been saying, the simple plays, but when you're facing that defense, what are some of the things you guys have to do well? Yeah, I think it's just run the ball and I know it's just repetitive over and over again, but it literally is just the simple plays, taking care of the ball and continue to stay on the field and move the chains. I think if we do that, then our defense is phenomenal defense, and we're going to have a chance to win every single game this year if we do that. Does it feel different expectations-wise, confidence-wise going into this season's kickoff? Yeah, I would say so. I think just like the level of chemistry and just the amount of work that we know we've put in, I think we're ready for anything, and we're excited to, like I said, finally play somebody else besides our defense. And then just how excited are you to go play in Arrowhead? And it's going to be pretty much a home game for you guys, I think. Yeah, I think we're all excited to, I've been to 2 or 3 Chiefs games, and so, that's kind of a cool environment that, I'm excited to play in. But like you said, I think it's going to be a home game, and being able to play at least in front of some of our fans will be exciting. Great stuff. Appreciate it. Best of luck this week. Thank you. Again, Kyle, going back to those routine plays, and you heard Heinrich say it, they've just repped it over and over. He said there's sometimes you feel like you've done the same play 40 times. But I think that's just, again, the confidence of when the play is called, they know without a doubt they're going to be able to execute that play.
Do the routine things really well and good things will happen. That's the motto, I think, of Dana Holgorsen and his offense is you run a lot of simple mesh concepts, and if you do your job, you focus on the fundamentals, the things that you've been working on over the last month in fall practice, things will fall into place. And there's a lot of game changers that can make a lot of big plays in open space, but you make those quick throws. You don't force Dylan to sit back in the pocket for a long time, and he can make quick decisions. That's going to make things a lot easier for this Nebraska offense.
All right, let's go ahead and get to a break. We are back to wrap up hour number 1 next.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your basement and damaging your home. Mold, cracks, and of course visible water are just a few signs your basement is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly, final segment here of hour number 1 with Kyle Crooks. I'm Jessica Coody. Kyle, I got up pretty early today. It was still dark. Sun was coming up, and it felt like fall when I took Sonny on a walk. You said it's cold?
It is cold out right now.
You're going to have to adjust.
I know. I'm coming from Florida, but I did live in New Jersey for a long time. But you're right. It feels like
football
fall.
Weather.
And I think it's supposed to be this way for the next week. I don't know if it's eventually going to turn back to being somewhat warm because we're not at that point of the year where it should be fall weather all the time. I think we're still a month away from that, but it feels like October out there.
So the big dog, Jeremiah Searles, is a big fan of the cooler weather. He sometimes can get cranky when it's too hot. So I texted him this morning, and I said, are you beside yourself with this cooler morning? And he said, oh, I need this, but I've lived here long enough to recognize fake fall. Can't get suckered into the trap.
Yeah, you can't do it.
So
you can't do it, but it should be here for a few more days. I think it's supposed to be around this, maybe a little bit warmer for Thursday.
With some rain in the morning, right? I was seeing.
Yeah, a little bit of rain, but it's supposed to be, at least here, I have here in Lincoln, so it should be similar in Kansas City, but a high of 80, low of 61. So it should be in the low 60s, high 50s for the game on Thursday night once you hit in the third and the fourth quarter. So, oh yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go.
But you, from what I understand, you can't open up the windows there.
You can't. Everything's sealed shut, so we won't feel any of it. But
I will.
The players will.
I'll pass it along to you.
You know what? I don't like that you get to feel the cool weather. You could break out the jacket. You're going to have to bring, I'll say this, you have to bring some layers. I think we're at the point where you might have to wear a layer or two.
Listen, as everybody said, in 2 weeks from now, when it's that kickoff that's in the afternoon. I mean, it never fails that there's a game that I get sunburned in October. It just doesn't. It never fails.
Yeah.
So
I would assume that. So at Minnesota on October 17th, I think we'll hit a pretty nice chill at that point. I'm circling at Penn State on November 22nd. That will be chilly. And Damon is not a windows open guy, so he doesn't have to have the windows open. We don't have the option to open our windows here for the first game, but Penn State, I'm going to fling those windows open on November 22nd, and Damon Benning is going to be shivering.
Shane said, if you don't like the weather, Kyle, just wait 10 minutes.
No, I love the weather right now. This is nostalgic for me.
It's beautiful.
Because I love the one thing I missed from where I'm coming from is I didn't have a fall season. Didn't have the changing of the leaves. You didn't have what a true Saturday of football, college football Saturday was like weather-wise. It was just too warm all the time. So I love this. It's just when it turns for the worst, eventually, that's when I'll be a little like, ugh.
So again, just a reminder, we have another hour coming up. We will have more football talk. We're going to talk some volleyball. We'll have weekend winners, all that good stuff. But this is it for us this week because got Danny Busman-Kelly in tomorrow. John Baylor will be in for the volleyball show tomorrow night, second hour. But we want you to text in your questions. So I'm going to tell you now. I'll remind you again in the second hour. If you have questions that you want John Baylor to ask Danny Busman-Kelly, text them in tonight for us, 402-413-2400, so we can get those ready for JB to pass along to Danny tomorrow night in our volleyball hour. And then Kyle in hour one is going to sit down with Troy Dannon and also some big things, some cool events happening, some news that's going to be coming out. Brandon Meyer is going to be here as well. So we will have that for you tomorrow night. And then Nick Hanley's going to step in for us on Wednesday night. And you're going to have a chance to chat with Rob Dvorak, though, before we head down there.
Get a chance to talk to him about the defense as a whole, linebackers, a deep linebacker room. So I would say a lot of people say that he's a head coach in waiting eventually. He's maybe a defensive coordinator in waiting, one of the young up-and-coming coaches. So excited to talk to him.
Well, how are you feeling that it's here? We've been talking about it. Your charts
are done.
How many times have your charts changed?
So I did this last night. I went through all the different versions on my coffee table in my apartment. This is the fourth version.
I would have thought more.
So I'll say this. I batted closer to 1,000 in the placement of the Cincinnati players and everything than I did for Nebraska, which makes no sense. But I actually had to move more around for Nebraska than I did for Cincinnati. So that was all through articles and podcasts. But the charts are done. If you were to stand next to me at practice, the mental play-by-play that I'm doing to try and get the muscle memory going, it's just hard because you're at field level. So it's hard to call stuff when you're right at the same surface. But I was at practice last night, and I was just standing there and being like, wow. We're here, and it's truly getting set to come, and I got like a little bit of chills and sort of like, how did I get here? I told Troy at practice last week, I said, I still kind of can't believe that I'm here. When I look at the helmets and the logos and the facilities, and I can't wait to get going.
Did you have more changes on the offense or defense?
Defense.
Yeah.
Because there were some things that, in terms of, because it's hard to, when you watch the defense, there's a certain order of, okay, who's truly playing the safety, who's truly playing the rover position, those types of things that I had to move guys to who's playing the left corner, who's playing the right corner. And so there's a lot more on defense.
Well, it's finally here. I feel like it was just yesterday that you got here, but also it's been a long time coming. So
yes.
Finally here.
It feels like yesterday that I didn't know where I was walking because I didn't know where anything is, and I still don't know where anything is. So we're still learning, but we got games around the learning.
So with that being said, too, we are going to have picks coming up on Wednesday. We're cramming in a lot because, again, with the weird scheduling and a Thursday night kickoff, so we'll have our picks coming up for you on Wednesday night of the Blitz. Camden's taking over the Blitz.
Big time.
He's graduating on to bigger and better things for us around here. So
I got to work on my picks tonight, by the way. I haven't even looked at the games
you
Josh has sent. I quit after Stanford lost.
I didn't think you were participating anymore.
It's for the better.
After all that trash you talked.
I need to step aside.
You need to study.
I think it's fair.
All right, so plenty to come here in hour number 2. We're going to hear from Dana Holgerson, previewing the matchup against Cincinnati. Also going to hear from William Nwaneri. I had a chance to chat with him as well in our weekend winners. Keep it here. Sports Nightly, hour 2 up next.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I got to see my brother get married.
I would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
Experience exceptional quality and lasting value at Woodhouse Toyota. Lease the 2025 Toyota Corolla Hybrid XLE forward-wheel drive for $250 a month for 36 months and 10,000 miles per year. Visit us in-store off Highway 281 in Grand Island or online at woodhousetoyota.com. Woodhouse Toyota. Let's go places. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra. Security deposit waived. $24.99 down payment plus first payment and $299 doc fee due at signing. Stock number GT250217. Offer expires 8/31/2025. See dealer for details.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter Agent Natalie Kerr in Lincoln, Michael Reeves in Omaha, or Julie Null in Plattsmouth.
Good evening, Husker Nation. I'm David Sotek reporting from our studio, and the Sports Ticker is brought to you by the experienced advisors at Stonebridge Wealth Systems. First, Husker Baseball released their fall schedule for the upcoming season today, featuring 2 exhibitions and, of course, the annual Red-White Series. The first matchup is on September 27th at Wichita State, and the next at home on October 11th against UNO. Shortly thereafter, the Red-White Series kicks off through October 13th to the 15th, and all games at Haymarket Park are open to the public and attendance is free. Yesterday, number 1 ranked Nebraska Volleyball hosted number 6 Stanford in Pinnacle Bank Arena as part of the AVCA First Serve, and the top-ranked Huskers wasted no time in sweeping the Cardinals in 3 straight sets, 25-13, 25-19, and 25-14, respectively. Hitting percentages were fantastic for Nebraska as well, reaching .385, while they held Stanford to .094. Also, the Huskers racked up 46 kills in the game, with the leaders in the category being Ali Czech at 12, Rebecca Alec with 11, and Harper Murray with 10. And finally, some MLB score updates from around the country. The Boston Red Sox headed out to Baltimore to face off against the Orioles. The Orioles had the 3-1 lead at the bottom of the 3rd, but now it's the top of the 6th, and the Red Sox got some momentum going. It's 4-3 Boston right now. And then also Tampa Bay headed over to Cleveland to face off against the Guardians, and it's been all Rays all game so far. It's top of the 6th. The Rays have the lead 4-0. And finally, the Miami Marlins are hosting the Atlanta Braves tonight. It's the end of the 6th. Not as many points in this game. Miami with a slight lead, 1-0. The Sports Ticker is brought to you by the Stonebridge Wealth Systems, navigating you to and through the retirement of your dreams. Local advisors, a disciplined process, the retirement compass. Visit StonebridgeIWM.com. Coming up next is Hour 2 of Sports Nightly, right here on the Huskers Radio Network.
Coming to you live from Memorial Stadium, it's Sports Nightly. All the Huskers, all the time. Sports Nightly is presented to you by the NDOT Highway Safety Office, who remind you to buckle up and put the phone down.
Tight formation, turn, toss it off to a little end around by Barney. He's at the 10-5, touchdown Nebraska. Ja'Cory Barney slips in there, taking the pitch on the end around from 10 yards out. Nebraska stretches the lead to 20-3.
Pickens with a 1-2. Bland rolls the ground ball to third. Gibson charges, backhand stop, throw. The first to throw, wild! Runner safe at first. Squire scores. Now Lauren Camden's in around third. She dives in safely. The throw wide of the plate. Bland around third. She's gonna score! Everybody scores! Everybody scores! A Little League 3-run home run for Sammy Bland. 3-1 Nebraska.
Between the circles now to Wooster and to Morgan. Back to the basket. Comes left. Dribble handoff to Esijan. Took a bump. Drives it. Puts it up. Got it! Holy smokes, what a great goal by Connor Esijan. He's not just a three-point shooter, my friends. 70-67.
Now, here are your hosts, Jessica Coody and Kyle Crooks on the Huskers Radio Network.
Welcome back. Hour number 2. Kansas has just taken set 3 from Penn State. Kansas with a 2-1 lead. What a match.
I could be wrong, but I think I saw John Cook is commentating that match as the color analyst.
He's Lauren was joking the other day. He's got 2 new jobs with what he's doing with the Supernovas. He's like got 4 new jobs.
Yeah.
He's like, I think Camden was saying he hopped in on the Huskers Radio Network.
I saw him up there because I was in the arena and I saw him up there for like the whole match.
Yeah, so he was helping fill the time. So, yeah. I bet he's going to be quite the commentator.
Some people just can't stay retired.
No.
I feel like you're going to be that way whenever you decide to like do something else.
Me? How about you?
Yeah, I think we all are. I think we're all wired the same way, just crazy people
Yeah.
that love doing what we do.
Well, it was pretty epic this weekend. Huskers lived up to the hype. Wouldn't you say so?
I'd say so. Boy, that was – so I wasn't there Friday night. It was there Sunday. 15,000 fans, everything that you expected coming into the weekend. I don't think we thought Nebraska would play that well. Like they played, especially yesterday against Stanford, the way that they just demolished a top 6 team. And there was some real – moments that you think of. I think it was an Ali Czech kill, and then there was the Rebecca Alec kill from yesterday. Those are 2 moments that stand out for me of like, whoa, this team's just different. From the depth perspective, the middle blocker perspective and what they have there in Andy Jackson and Rebecca Alec, who were the MVPs of the first two games that were played. You could not script up, considering the competition, a better start for Nebraska volleyball.
Yeah, some of my big takeaways was that there with Allie Check, and I know a lot was made with her getting the start, and you had Adriano the first night, Virginia starting that first match. I think they're going to be able to utilize different players for different matchups, and that's just such a luxury. They have so much depth. I think she's going to be able to play around, and as long as everybody buys into, hey, which night is my night and who can we utilize, kind of like Dana Holgerson's trying to build an offensive game plan, and you're looking at that defense and where can we pick apart. I think the same thing can be done with this volleyball team, and who can we maybe target on the other side of the net with our personnel.
Yeah, a 385 hitting percentage against Stanford. Bergen Riley is one that you come away after Sunday
She's
and
impressive.
after the weekend that is just, she's a difference maker. The way that she sets up the outside, sets up the middles to do what they do, but she's just, there's a reason why she's had all the accolades coming into this season, and they have depth there at that setter position. We know that, but Bergen Riley she's not going to leave the floor.
Every night, I think we're going to be sitting here trying to, it was because I was watching on ESPN and they were trying to figure out who they were going to vote for the MVP, and they were discussing it. You could go with 3 different players for Nebraska. I think that's going to be a problem every night. I think we're going to have different players that are going to be the star of any given night.
I don't know if you're the other teams, Pitt or Stanford. Now, Pitt lost to Florida the next day. I don't know how much Stanford evaluates themselves to say that, okay, we have these many issues, or Nebraska's just that good, right? They are a true number one. There's a lot of, you couldn't sense if there was any nerves or anything around, it felt like a Final Four type of atmosphere. You're in a 15,000-seat arena, very much what the Final Four and the national championship will be. Everything about that, the way ESPN covered it, it felt like a Final Four match. So with that, there could be more nerves, start of a season, start of an era of a brand new coach. And none of that seemed to manifest itself in terms of nerves. I mean, it was just a Sunday stroll at the park.
I know that a lot of folks were a little bit, had some complaints roll in about the MC of the event. And just so you know, that was an AVCA production that had nothing to do with Nebraska. It's not going to be something that they're going to do moving forward at Devaney. It was just part of what they did. And I think they realized that they probably don't need to educate Nebraska fans as much as maybe they do elsewhere.
Yeah, I mean, that was, again, an AVCA event, not a Nebraska-run event. So just keep that in mind when you say whatever about it. The MC, is it necessary? No, it's clearly not with an educated crowd with Nebraska volleyball. And I would assume they're going to do this event maybe in Lincoln again next year and what the future of this event is. But the way that it showcased the sport on ESPN, it was on Fox on Friday night, so the linear television coverage of it was big. And, I could remember the light show with the wristbands. All 15,000 people had the light-up wristbands on every single seat. So there were moments during the intermission, during timeouts, or in between sets where they would do the wristband light show and just truly show off how many people are in the building. And it was full for Florida and Pitt on Sunday. That first match, they had to wait a while because that match went a full 5 sets. And it was funny, Nebraska fans were, I think, cheering on Florida because they wanted the underdog to win. So you could see them really start to get into the match as it was going, and it was a really fun match. But that place was full about an hour before Nebraska ever took the floor.
I told you this, we were texted about this. You can say a lot of things about ESPN. I know I've, had some hate thrown their way a little bit, but you cannot deny the efforts and just the high production value and the emphasis that they have put into broadcasting and showcasing these women's sports like volleyball, from what they've done at the Final Four to this event, and how they were, everything that they did on Sunday, going back to softball, Women's College World Series. I think they learned a lot from how they've done that event. The women's basketball coverage had more viewers than it ever has. they do a really good job of presenting the product of these women's sports.
I remember sitting at the Women's College World Series, this past year, but years prior, and I would hear a buzzing sound as I was in the booth, and it was a drone. All of a sudden, there were drone cameras that were introduced and all these different sky cams at the Women's College World Series. And what it used to be it used to have a temporary fence, and it used to look like kind of a Little League product on television, and how far it's come. And even the conference tournaments, the way ESPN has packaged those for softball. I think women's basketball and softball, in terms of their coverage on linear platforms, has taken a massive jump. And they're seeing the numbers are there, viewership numbers, attendance numbers for volleyball, especially here in Nebraska, right? So the core four that we talked about as the number 2 highest attendance of any other women's programs when it comes to those core four in the country. So the interest is here in Lincoln, but you're seeing it everywhere, whether it's, we're watching Penn State right now, or Pitt with volleyball, and all these different softball programs that have taken a big jump, Texas Tech with softball. There's just so much more interest in women's sports, and it comes down to there is a market for it, and the networks realize, ESPN realizes that there's a market to get high attendance numbers and high viewership numbers out of these sports.
So, again, just an impressive performance. I think from the outside looking in, a lot of people said, where can they even be better? But Danny Busboom-Kelly saying they've got plenty to work on. There's a lot of things that they have to clean up and improve upon. But it was impressive from, the first match against Pitt to what they did against Stanford. So many positive things. And we're going to let you listen to the sounds of the game, a montage our own Josh Heckelman put together for us. The sounds of JB and Lauren calling that dominating win over Stanford.
Greetings, Nebraska, and welcome back into Pinnacle Bank Arena in the Haymarket, downtown Lincoln, Nebraska, for another AVCA First Serve clash between two top 10 teams. Today, it's number 6 Stanford 1-0 versus your number 1 ranked Huskers, also 1-0. Free ball over. Now Stanford, Elia Rubin roll shots. Nice up by Andy Jackson. She's digging back there. Back row swing by Harper. Here come the Cardinal. Bump set from Park. Tight to the net. Shot by Bergen Riley. Bergen's got 2 kills. She's got 2 kills out of Nebraska, 7 points. That's like 2 weeks for Bergen. Longest rally of the afternoon. There's Harvey swinging. One arm dig by Bergen. Nebraska volleyball bumps over to left. Put a free ball across from Taylor. Here come the Cardinal, down 2 in the first. Quick attack in the middle. Off the block, controlled by Nebraska. Quick attack, right back. Rebecca Alec, back and forth. And Rebecca finishes that conversation. It's 10-7 Nebraska. And they're standing in Lincoln. Right side, attack by Harvey. Here come the Huskers. Olivia to Bergen, back row. Harper, kaboom! They were looking for another local. They missed the express. It's all Big Red, 18-11, set 1. Served by Harper Murray. Good pass outside, set Jordan Harvey. Block backhand, T. Jackson. 21-11, a dominant first set performance by the Big Red.
It's early, so we want to learn about our team, and I've been preaching to these guys like they have to make each other better, and we're going to use everybody on this roster when we need them.
Sails it to the back middle, guided to the center Park. Not a good set to Rubin. She can only roll shot and right side swing. Allie Check finishes off the Cardinal with her first swing and her first kill. Served by Andrew. Good pass to Nebraska. Wow, set behind Bergen. Kaboom! Andy Jackson putting dents in the PBA deck. It's Nebraska's 6, Stanford 4. Harper sails it to the back right. Decent pass. Quick attack in the middle. Tip shot won't drop. Now Nebraska. The slide. Jackson. Kaboom! Boy, gravity merely an annoyance for Andy Jackson at 16-11.
We're a couple of dogs, man. We've been saying this for years. The middles, me and Andy, we're constantly pushing ourselves. I think we speak for most middles on every team everywhere. We want to be set, but when you are set that ball, you have to deliver, and I think that's exactly what me and Andy do. So it feels good to be fed some more.
Quick attack in the middle. That's Logan Parks. Rebecca Alec throws up a wall. Blocking better than cholesterol tonight all weekend. Nebraska now 7 blocks, 19-13. She receives this serve, not a good pass. Bump set from the left all the way to the right, and Ellie Check finishes. We got a big lefty on the right side. She's got 8 kills, no errors. 23-16. Line drive serve to Laney. Takes a knee, decent pass. Fed left. Harper tipping, and teardrops home. 25-19. There's your high V set point. Come on back. for set number 3.
Yeah, Harper has been so consistent in the preseason, and the way she plays, the way she approaches every practice, and I feel like she's on a mission this year to prove a lot of things, and that's what you're seeing.
Ebar Kurt gets it back, tipping, diving dig, Olivia Malk. Nebraska bumps it to the back middle. Harper, it's in! What a shot from middle back to the deep right corner of Stanford. Point Nebraska, 10-6 media timeout. Back row swing, Jordan Harvey. Nice up by Laney. Boy, she's been a vacuum back there. Right shot by Alicek. Shank sideways dig, chase down, free ball back. Here come the Huskers up 5 with ball. Quick attack. Rebecca Alec, a clinic this afternoon by the Big Red in the third set. It's 13-7 over Stanford. Wow. Up 8. Now Nebraska. Jack back. Allie, checkmate. Kaboom. 16-7. Serve goes to Maisie. Perfect pass to slide. Rebecca. Kaboom. Woohoo. Pass set. See you later. 24-14. Serve goes to Blashoff. Bad pass. Bump set right back to her. Julia Blashoff fires. And good block touch, Doug. Here comes the Huskers right side. Allie check for the win. We're done. Nebraska sweeps Stanford. Allie check leads the Big Red with 12 kills and a quick one. 3 sets over the 9-time national champs.
Today wasn't an anomaly. Like that is us. And we're not going to play that great every single night, but now we kind of set the bar of what we're capable of.
JB is already in mid-season form or postseason form. He stays in mid-season form.
He's always in mid-season. Whenever you just meet him in person, it's just like he's calling a match. That is who he is, on and off the air, full of energy. John Baylor.
Let's here's to Josh making a montage of your calls after Thursday that we can run next week.
Let's hope it's good. Let's hope it's good.
All right, good stuff. We got to get to a break. Coming up, we're going to hear from the offensive coordinator, Dana Holgerson, also met with the media today. Here are his thoughts as they approach preparations for Cincinnati. 402-413-2400 is that number to text in if you want to be a part of the show tonight. I also, Jeff in Omaha, appreciate your text coming in. We are collecting those texts and questions to pass along to JB for Danny for tomorrow night's volleyball show, so keep those rolling in as well. Woodhouse has been a trusted partner in your everyday since 1975. Shop for your next vehicle with the home team at Woodhouse and the official auto dealer of Nebraska Athletics.
No matter what you're looking for, you'll find it at Woodhouse. We carry a wide selection of trusted brands across more than 20 locations, offering everything from efficient daily drivers to bold new EVs and family-ready SUVs. At Woodhouse, we put your experience first, offering expert guidance and a trusted team that's guaranteed to help you find the right vehicle. Visit a location near you or start shopping online at woodhouse.com. More ways to drive, more reasons to trust. This is Woodhouse.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you get coverage options based on how much you want to pay for car insurance. And then you decide how to spend the rest of your money because you're in charge. And right now, you're going to pay for groceries. But you decide what groceries. Just keep in mind you're running out of dishwashing soap. But you decide if you're going to buy that soap. It's just those dishes won't clean themselves, will they? Remember, with Progressive's Name Your Price tool, we'll help you find coverage at a fair price. And then you're in charge. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
Because my mom wore her seatbelt that day, I get to hug her when I go home.
And then it clicked. Because I wore my seatbelt, I learned that one moment in time can change a person's life forever.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
The day we were hit was the second to last day of our high school careers.
We were about to graduate as best friends together.
And then it clicked. Because we wore our seatbelt that day, we still get to experience life together.
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person. It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience. J.D. Power ranked the team at Shelter Insurance #1 in customer satisfaction among auto insurers in the Central Region 6 out of the last 7 years. For J.D. Power award information, visit jdpower.com/awards.
See Shelter Agent Derek Husker in Lincoln, Shelley Wheeler in Grand Island, or Jeff Florum in North Platte today.
At Woodhouse, we're with you every step of the way. With more than 20 locations and brands, you'll find options that fit your lifestyle. Whether you're looking for your first car, your next SUV, or something built to tow and haul, Enjoy straightforward pricing, helpful guidance, and a dealer experience built around you. Visit one of our convenient locations today or explore your options online at woodhouse.com. Serving our customers for 50 years, this is Woodhouse.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect that water is the reason parts of your concrete have gotten so uneven. Walkway tripping hazards, sinking pool deck, cracked driveways are dangerous threats to everyone's safety. But there's one way to learn how your concrete can be lifted. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health, and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
The Huskers Radio Network Broadcast Center is sponsored by Akrs, the Midwest premier John Deere dealer, supplying the equipment and service to advance agriculture and much more. Akrs, solutions for every field. Welcome back to Sports Nightly. It's time now to hear from the offensive coordinator, Dana Holgorsen. Also met with the media today. And we start with, he's asked the question what he liked the most out of his offense throughout fall camp.
I think our players did an exceptional job of every day being important, and so, just 21 days of just a lot of football. It was just a lot of football. We were a healthy team pretty much the entire camp. We, just logged a whole lot of reps and was able to get into just a whole bunch of situations that, quite frankly, sometimes don't get covered until they happen, and so I just think we're really prepared to be able to go out there and see what happens on Thursday. I mean, it just, you get to a point where you think you know what you got, but until you get in that live situation, so you don't really know. I'm excited about Thursday. I'm ready to go out there and ready to coach and ready to watch these guys play.
I think we all share the same sentiment as Dana. And for someone who's been at all of the practices for the most part, they rep every single situation. And they do 7-on-7, 9-on-7, 11-on-11 live. Is it, 2-minute drill? Are you inside the 20? Is it 3rd and 6 on the 46-yard line? Like, Coach Rule, he sets up these situations, and the coaches don't necessarily know what those situations might be, and just sort of throws it at them and sees how they react. So every possible situation that could take place, they've repped the Hail Marys to end halves and end games. They have done it.
Dante Corleone, we have talked about him going to be another
the Godfather, as they call him.
Handful for this Husker offensive line. Searles raved about him. You talked about him last week in your defensive line preview. Is there someone maybe close that could give him a good look, this offense on the Husker defense?
And towards a Dante Corleone, I don't think so. I think he's probably the best defender on the field for either defense come Thursday, I would say.
Well, Coach Holgorsen was asked about the Godfather, Dante Corleone, and what that matchup looks like for his offense.
Yeah, he retired our center a couple years ago, so I know he was battling some things last year, but I certainly know what he's capable of. I've seen it up close and personal for a couple of times, so he's a load in there. We've been challenging, especially our inside guys, to understand what they're about to face, but I mean, we know, Big Ten football, that's going to be pretty much a weekly thing, so this would be a good test for us week 1.
He retired another grown dude. when Dana was at Houston and played Cincinnati, he said he created a 3-and-out on his own as a nose tackle. I mean, guys, nose tackles are there to just clog up space, not necessarily cause so much disruption in terms of tackles for loss and sacks, things that you would see on a stat sheet. You're just somebody who's there to clog things up and get others those numbers, but he does a lot. 9.5 career sacks. He's a 3-time all-conference player, 2-time All-American. He's the captain of the team for a 3rd time. There's only one of 5 players that have been a captain in 3 consecutive years for Cincinnati. The other is the center on the other side of the ball, Gavin Gerhardt. But he did not have a full offseason last year. He had blood clots, very much what we saw with Javen Wright last year. So he missed the first game of the season, was not healthy coming into the year. They had a lot of injury issues on the defensive line, but they up front are healthy this year. Corleone's had a complete offseason, and he could be a 2nd or 3rd round guy when it comes to the NFL next year.
All right, up next from Coach Holgerson, he was just asked overall his perspective on how Coach Rule ran this fall camp.
Just the structure, it felt like I was experiencing Hard Knocks, just from like that NFL camp stuff, I mean, just how we practiced, how we had it structured, the situational stuff, and I encouraged it. He half the time wouldn't even tell us what the situation is going to be. We just got to be able to react to it, okay? And so, we introduce it, we teach it, but then he springs things on us, and we got to be able to handle it, So situationally, I thought it was exceptional. The organization of the rest and the recovery, this facility just is the best in the country. From show up in the morning, and a lot of times these guys don't leave, so to speak, and now that school's in session here, they still don't have to leave a lot because the academic component that exists up there. So they got everything. Our players have everything that they need to be able to get their bodies ready to practice the next practice. And that's what I've seen is the advantage of getting our guys to where they can perform at a high level in practice every single time that we go out there and practice. And that's just a huge emphasis with Coach Rule. And it's allowed us to be able to go out there and get a whole bunch of work done, and I've learned a lot from it, just as far as the organization and the structure, and then just having the facility to be able to back it up makes for good practice.
And that's somebody who has 13 years of head coaching experience at the Power 4 level. I mean, that's somebody who's done it, who's, scripted out his own fall camp. He just sees it's a different level of organization here. And that comes from, Coach Rule as a position coach, starting all the way back when he was coaching linebackers at Albright College in Pennsylvania. And, he was an assistant, position coach with the New York Giants with Tom Coughlin. You want to talk about somebody whose organization and timing and time management and all those things. So it takes those experiences to eventually become who you want to be as a head coach. And I feel like Coach Rule is at a point in his life that he just feels comfortable, but feels confident in exactly who he is and how he's going to win games.
That being said, though, he's not afraid to evolve and adjust where need be and what works best for any given team. But, to Coach Holgerson, and to your point about the appreciation of how Coach Rule run things, when we had him on back in signing day in December, DB and I were chatting with him just about him, how much he enjoys, I think, just being an offensive coordinator. I think there's appreciation for Coach Rule kind of running things as the head coach, and he can just do what he really loves to do and run the offense.
Yeah, and it's funny when you watch a practice, right? Coach Rule truly is the CEO. He's like the president of everything. He stands in the center between the two grass fields, and he just sort of looks out at all these position groups, and he lets their guys do their thing.
Yep. Okay, this is fascinating. Coach Holgerson was asked just the play calling experience, how he feels different now in this season as to where he was when he took over and was thrown to the fire, 3 games left of the season last year?
Yeah, it's a little different. I don't get tripped up nearly as much, so, it's our offense now, so I know it in and out as well as I need to know it. I got tripped up at times, and had to make some adjustments to what the offense was in order for it to make sense to me, and I think we've done that, and I think it makes a lot of sense to Dylan. And our communication is very, very, very good.
And last year, and what he said was one of the hardest things he's ever done in coaching. Step in those final 3 regular season games and the bowl game as the play caller was the hardest thing. Trying to keep the same terminology for Dylan and all the guys, and he had to learn an entire offense and become the play caller. Now he has so much more ownership of this whole thing that's why when people say Nebraska can win 9, 10 games, I did a radio hit the other day where they asked me what the most confidence that you have in the offense, and I'd given a certain answer, and then the host had said, well, I think it's because Dana Holgerson's calling the plays, and I agree with him. It's just there's a different level of confidence as a fan coming into this season because of the guy that's calling the plays. You saw in a small sample size what he had done and what the numbers were in those final 4 games, and now he has the comfort of an entire playbook. It makes a world of difference.
What he's done is proven. I mean, he's done it. His offenses have been elite everywhere that he is coached, head coach or offensive coordinator, whatever it might be. They set the records. They're among the best of the best. His quarterbacks, wide receivers are competing for Biletnikoffs. Quarterbacks are in Heisman and leading the nation in passing yards. It works. But I thought the kind of the thing that stood out to me the most is he said Dylan is comfortable with it, and I think that's what he does is he makes sure that the communication is there and that there's a comfort level between he and the quarterback, whatever, how they're communicating, what they're communicating, just all the things that go into that relationship and how they can feel most comfortable with each other on a sideline on a game day.
Here's a note from Keith Mann and his staff in the game notes. So he's had 3 different stops as an offensive coordinator, Texas Tech, Houston, and Oklahoma State. His offenses have averaged 402 passing yards per game, 524 total yards, and 40.7 points per game. Now, a lot of that is in different systems and different conferences. You're not going to do that in the Big Ten. We all know that. But his offenses are ultra consistent in the fact that they are explosive and they have quarterbacks who do big things and put up big numbers.
Yeah, I did a deep dive on that this summer. Damon and I were doing a segment, and if you just even go back to the quarterbacks that he's had and where they have finished among the best of the best, it is unreal, dating back to when he was at Texas Tech working with a Graham Harrell who lit everybody up. And so each year, it doesn't matter what the quarterback is, who it is, what kind of style they are among the nation's leaders in a lot of different quarterback statistics. He just has a way with how getting the most out of the quarterback. So your future deserves a winning game plan. Stonebridge Wealth Systems 5-step retirement compass delivers holistic financial planning with strategy. Find us on radio, TV, or YouTube, or visit stonebridgeiwm.com. When we come back, we're going to hear from the star transfer defensive lineman. He was a 5-star going out of high school, out of Missouri, settling in. William Sonari, got a chance to chat with him one-on-one today after practice. Keep it here on Sports Nightly.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, 2-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
See Shelter agent Josh Aaron's in Kearney, Scott Vermas in La Vista, or Dennis Malloy in Bellevue today.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
Noddle Companies proudly supports the Huskers Radio Network. As a full-service leader in commercial real estate, we create thriving communities. Discover what's new in the Builders District in North Downtown, Noddle Hospitality's latest venture in Exarban Village, and the contemporary living of row house townhomes on Leavenworth. We're welcoming world-class concepts from men's fashion and great eats to gorgeous homes and green spaces, all professionally managed by Noddle Services. These are the Noddle Companies, building a better Nebraska. For more information, check us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Jan from Toyota here, with live coverage of end of summer fun at Toyota's National Sales Event, with my special guest, Eli Manning.
Thanks, Jan. Let's get into it.
Down by the lake for some fishing, we've got Eric in his Tundra. He throws his line, and he's going long!
Heck of a team effort there. That Tundra got him exactly where he needed to be.
There's excitement in the stadium parking lot with the Davis family tailgating in their new Sequoia.
All eyes are on Dad manning the grill. He grabs some buns from the cargo area of the Sequoia and flips. And look at that. What a way to close this one out.
Sure was, Eli. Until next time, go Toyota!
See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Dealer inventory may vary. Event ends September 2nd. Toyota, let's go places.
See your Omaha Metro and Lincoln Toyota dealers. Village Point Toyota of Omaha, Baxter Toyota of La Vista, Baxter Toyota of Lincoln, or Corwin Toyota of Bellevue.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe insurance should adjust to fit your needs. That's why we work with you to design an auto, home, and life insurance plan that's particular to you. Insurance that fits just right. And Shelter is known for our award-winning customer service, satisfied customers, and a plan for you. Ready to check us out? Shelter Insurance. We're your shield. We're your shelter.
See Shelter agent Travis Hawk in Scottsbluff, Jim Mowinkle in Gretna, or Shane Bernhardt in Norfolk.
Nebraskans are choosing chiropractic for better health. Why chiropractic? Because it's safe, drug-free, and a cost-effective treatment option for back and joint pain. Plus, all generations can benefit from natural chiropractic care. Choose chiropractic first for pain relief or to improve your mobility, athletic performance, or overall wellness. Make chiropractic your first choice for better health and find a chiropractic physician near you at nebraskachiropractic.org. Get your life back with chiropractic.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
In the broadcast booth, Kyle Crooks on the call with Dame and Bennett. Yep. They're ready for it all. Okay. Jessica Coody on the sidelines. She's got the scoop. Yep. Checking for the injuries. The team's in the loop. Yep. As the game kicks off and the whistle blows loud.
Nicely done. Thank you, Jim in Columbus, for that banger of a hit. Send it to Damon, too, so he's...
let's kick this thing off already. Let's go.
Thanks again, Jim, for the song.
Awesome. Love it.
It's not as good as Kyle Crooks' song, but...
Nothing is.
I know.
People in the music business
hard to beat that.
People in the music industry are still buzzing about it. Can you believe it?
Well, we have a match. It is tight in the fourth set here between Kansas and Penn State. I think is it tight as 24-24 last I saw? So it has been a battle.
Fourth set.
In the fourth set, and again, Kansas leads
win.
2-1, so they are fighting here tooth and nail, the number 2 team in the nation, Penn State. So we'll keep you posted on that. In the meantime, I had a chance to chat with the defensive lineman, Williams. Is he what? I mean, what is he listed at? Linebacker, D-line, like exactly?
D-end.
D-end.
D-end officially.
D-end.
He might move around a little bit
So
on that D-line.
he's one of those guys that I think they're going to utilize to do a lot of different things. But the transfer from Missouri came in with a lot of hype. Had a chance to chat with William Sonari. Try texting that, by the way. Autocorrect didn't like me trying to text that would be on the show tonight. But William Sonari here on Sports Nightly. It's game week. How does it feel?
Feels great. You know, it's been a little long time coming, but I'm excited, you know.
What's the process fall camp been for you like here at Nebraska?
I feel like fall camp, you know, it was a grind, you know, out there every day with my brothers, you know, in the heat. But process it's just been a real smooth process, you know, getting to know the guys more and just being outside on the field with them, just different situations, you know. It's just been great, you know, team bonding for the most part.
How sick are you guys of the offensive line?
I'm pretty sick of them, you know, ready to go against some other people, you know, but not in my guys too, though, you know. Just been great competing with them all camp. So.
Yeah, this is the deepest. I know that your first year going against them, but the deepest that they've been. How much have they pushed you guys as a D-line up front to get better throughout this fall camp?
I mean, shoot, it's been real iron sharpening iron, you know, going at it every day. It's just, You know, I feel like with them, they're a very, you know, tight-knit group. So when it's a group coming at you like that really sticks together, it makes the competition even that much harder. But no, it's been great, you know, going against them. So.
Obviously, everybody has to earn their opportunities, and the coaching staff have really raved about the job you've done. What was your approach getting here and getting settled in and earning your spot here with this defense?
When I first talked to Coach Rule, you know, he told me he just wants me to come in, you know, be myself, you know. So I really just came in and just tried to really put my best foot forward every day and, you know, just see where it was going to get me. You know, I feel like I'm happy with, you know, how it's going and I feel like it's going to go. You know, I'm excited, feel good about the season. So
when you say be yourself, what is that? What does that look like?
Shoot, I mean, I would say just being me, like coming in, not trying to, you know, be anybody that I'm not, you know, just come in and play my game, you know, yeah.
Why did you feel like Nebraska would be a good fit for you when you decided to transfer?
One, you know, I have, you know, connections here on the staff. My high school head coach is now on the staff, and, you know, I just feel like, you know, when I came in and it was just, that made the decision that much easier, but it also felt like a place that I could come and be successful, you know, in the defense. You know, Coach Butler's defense, I feel like it was an area I could come in and be successful, so that's really why.
How excited are you just about overall? I know you're going to play a part. There's a lot of guys, just the depth of the defensive line and what you guys are going to be able to do up front for this defense.
Shoot, I'm excited. You know, we play an attack-style defense, so, you know, I'm excited to just, you know, first off, we want to stop the run, you know, and I'm excited for them third downs, you know, and get back to the quarterback, so, yeah.
All right, how would you evaluate Isaiah Mosey at the running back spot?
Oh, I mean, I know, like, earlier, like, in his career, he's played running back, you know, high school, seeing him line up in Wildcat, you know, line up in the backfield, so he's real talented, you know, that's my guy. Like, he can really put him anywhere, he gonna flash, so, yeah, I feel real confident at him at that spot. So.
Bit of a homecoming for you, right? You expecting a big crowd of fans there in Arrowhead on Thursday night?
Oh, yeah, it is. It's going to be fun, you know, playing in my city. You know, really my real first game in the city. It's almost like a story out of a book or something like that. But, yeah, it's going to be, you know, a lot of my family, a lot of friends trying to come out and support. I'm just excited to just play ball, you know.
What did you think when you saw that was a spot that Nebraska was opening up the season?
So it just made me even, you know, that much more excited and pumped up, you know, to just play in front of in my city, you know. So, yeah.
So what are your goals? What are you hoping to do to set the tone here for yourself and for this defense here in game one?
Shoot, I mean, I really just want to come out, you know, start fast, you know, play our brand of football, you know, and just do anything I can do to help my team win. So.
The attack style defense, how much have you felt comfortable in that? It just seems like every coach that's spoken just says that you just seem right at home in what this defense is doing. How confident do you feel in your role in this defense?
Oh, I feel pretty confident, you know. My confidence is rising, you know, just by the day. And I feel like as soon as I play in the game, you know, just the more plays, you know, I make, and it's just going to take my confidence even more through the roof, you know. So I feel very good about it. I feel very comfortable in the defense. So.
Awesome. Well, how are you going to feel running out there on Thursday night? How are you going to be nervous? How are you going to manage the emotions of that first one back home in your city?
I mean, I couldn't even tell you, but it's definitely going to be some nerves, you know. But, you know, after the ball's kicked off, after, you know, I get some contact in there, I'm going to be fine, you know. After it gets rolling, I'm going to be fine.
Awesome. Yeah. And then just overall for this defense, you guys have started to dive into the film on Cincinnati. What do you guys need to do? What are the keys for this defense?
Should really just start fast, you know, stop the run, and just overall start fast, get a ball to our offense, put some points on that board. So, yeah.
Awesome. Great stuff. I appreciate your time.
Appreciate you.
William Sonari here on Sports Nightly. I love what he said going back to when he had the conversation with Coach Roll. I think you said this earlier in the show, but just being okay with being you and don't be anybody that you're not. But he is okay with that and growing confident with every single day that he's part of this culture.
I mean, he has all the tangible gifts to be a superstar here, and it tells you everything you need to know when you have him as a starter on the opening two deep. There were some question marks, not about the ability, but about some of the other things when he came here to Nebraska. Didn't play a whole lot at Missouri, had the ability to redshirt, but he has such a strong relationship with Jamar Mosey as well, who's on this staff, and I'm sure that has helped his acclimation. It's going to be an emotional night for him going back. He's from Lee's Summit, Missouri, and play with the Missouri Tigers, so he's going to have a lot of family and friends there, and I'm sure that'll add to it. But there's going to be a lot of guys who are going to be juiced up for this game.
Cody on the chat said he probably has the deepest voice on the team. We need to get him to be our voiceover guy. He could be a movie trailer guy.
Yeah.
Like, don't do it. Rest your voice.
That's right. That's a good point. That's a good point.
He almost did it. I'm like, there's no need to scratch that voice up.
Let me just say it because you had mentioned it. I feel like with the change of weather, I'm getting a little tickle in my throat here. This is your first look into the luck of Kyle Crooks. That's the title of the 5th book. And there's many chapters as to the luck. If this grows into something worse, this is going to be tough.
You're going to go drink some hot tea, get some vitamin C. It's all going to be all right.
My mom is going to text me in 5, 4.
Art in Los Angeles says, Jessica, I don't know what I'm more excited for, the Husker game Thursday or hearing Kyle Crooks, GBR.
No pressure.
Not to add to the pressure.
We had our content meeting today, and that was Haven had mentioned that too, who's obviously helps lead the coordination for football. He's like, oh, we can't wait to hear Kyle. Brandon Meyer said the same thing. So I said, thanks, guys. Keep adding to the pressure here. Troy Dannon said it.
Going to be a lot of people anxious to hear
you know what? That's part of it. That's why.
It's what you signed up for.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not like you're being shocked. It's not like this is the first time you're finding out that fact.
No.
I did my job of warning him, people. Your future deserves a winning game plan. Stonebridge Wealth Systems 5-Step Retirement Compass delivers holistic financial planning with strategy. Find us on radio, TV, or YouTube, or visit StonebridgeIWM.com. We're back to wrap up the show next.
You're going to feel a puff of air.
Jong's Optometry has set their sights on staffing up.
Try the next line. Hey, Kim, can you tell our 2 o'clock we're running 15 behind? Sorry, we're a bit backed up today.
He needs an optometric technician to keep an eye on it all.
Where are the dilation drops?
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers. Driven by value.
Welcome back. Final segment here of Sports Nightly on this Monday night edition. In fact, our final segment really of the week because it's about to get crazy around here. We've got full 2 hours tomorrow, but it will be Troy Dannon here from 6 to 7 with Kyle, and then Danny Busboom Kelly from 7 to 8 with John Baylor. And then Wednesday, we've got all kinds of things. We'll do our picks on Wednesday night. We'll have the Blitz. We'll have Nick Hanley filling in for us. Kyle's going to chat with Rob Dvorak. So it's this is it for Kyle and me this week until you hear us on game day.
You'll never see us again until Thursday.
When you're tossing it down to me on the sideline.
I can't wait for that first sideline report.
We have quite the Rob Seco sideline report.
I wasn't sure if we were allowed to say that on Sports Nightly.
Yes,
I guess they're a sponsor here too. So.
We have quite the match going on between Kansas and Penn State. We're in the 5th set, but that 4th set went 30-28. Penn State ended up outlasting Kansas to force this 5th set here tonight. So quite the match on Big Ten Network. All right, so we've got the new blood of interns rolling in here one by one, and Brady is the first victim here with us. Welcome. We're excited you're part of the team this year.
Yeah, I'm very excited to be joining you guys.
We interviewed you back in, I feel like, April, May, and you said you wanted to be a part. You like what we do, and so you're going to hop in and help us out wherever you can?
Yeah, very excited. Thankful for the opportunity.
You're actually calling the game, too, on Thursday night.
I am. I'll get to be here, and we'll both be at Arrowhead Stadium. It'll be awesome. I grew up in Kansas City, actually, so huge Chiefs fan. I've been to every playoff game at Arrowhead in my lifetime except like 2 or 3, I think, and now I get to be up in that Arrowhead press box. It's amazing. Dream come true, really.
That's awesome.
Well, welcome aboard. We're glad to have you. And so for our listeners, we like to involve our interns when we can. Brady will be a voice that you start hearing a lot more of, doing the ticker, scoreboard updates, whatever it might be. And he's going to participate in our weekend winners here tonight. We'll let you go first.
Yeah, my weekend winner was Tommy Fleetwood, finally getting it done, FedEx Cup champion. 5 top 10 finishes for him, 6 runner-ups before getting a win. He finally got it done.
We were joking, he's always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
Finally the bride.
He said in an interview like last week, somebody asked him to sum up his season. He said, close but no cigar would be the thing that he used.
He's one of those ones you know he's right there, but he's probably not going to win it, but he finally got it done. I like it. Kyle, you have next?
Dang, he stole mine. So
I said, don't worry, Kyle's not going to take a golf fix, so you're good.
I'm going to do Terry McLaurin. Just signed a brand new contract, receiver for the Washington Commanders. 3 years, $96 million. You know what we call that, guys? The Jessica Coody contract.
Right, I wish. David, you're up.
All right, so I'm going to the U.S. Open tennis time. I'm going with Renata Zarazua. She faced off against number 6 Madison Keys.
Not a real person.
It was a crazy match. Madison won the first one, but then Renata came back and beat the number 6 seed in the first round, and it was just a crazy comeback.
You just said that so you could say that name and
maybe
drop that name on all of us.
That is not a real human being.
Camden, you in on this or what?
Yeah,
okay.
I can go. I'm going to go with Macy Bosiger because she got to serve at the very end of that Stanford-Nebraska match, and it was cool to see, obviously, one of the hometown girls get into the game, and Andy Jackson was so excited for her to come in and serve, and she got a nice round of applause, so I'll go with Macy.
She's so well loved. She's engaged and she's passing out her bridesmaids invitations. Andy Jackson is one of her bridesmaids, so that's pretty cool there. She is very well loved on this team and by Husker Nation. She got a huge ovation. All right, I guess John Bullock, obviously, congratulations to him making the Bucs 53-man roster, but I missed this last week. I was really, really mad at myself. I had it and I totally forgot about it. But so this is actually last week's winner, but Jazz Shelley was named the MVP of the NBL 1 South League. So in Australia, playing professional basketball over there, was named the MVP. In fact, I chatted with Archie Manning today. He knew all about it, said that, it's a big-time league. And so shout out to Jazz Shelley. Her and Izzy Bourne both are doing really well playing professionally. I think Jazz is going to have a shot to make the Australian Olympic team for LA.
Well, we're getting closer to those 2028 Olympics. You know what else we're getting closer to?
Arrowhead
Stadium. Kick off.
Awesome. Well, Brady, thanks for participating and welcome again. David, Camden, thank you for your help in all this. And Kyle and I will chat with you. Well, I probably won't talk to you again until I'm in Kansas City on Thursday, but Kyle will be here hopefully with Nick checking in on Wednesday night, and he'll be here tomorrow with Troy Dannon. So again, if you have questions for Danny Busman Kelly and her coaches show tomorrow night, 402-413-2400, text those in so we can pass those along to John Baylor, who will be here in the 7 o'clock hour with the head coach coming off a huge opening weekend. That's going to do it for us. Have a great night. We'll talk to you down in Kansas City.
Hit us up on the text line. Text 402-413-2400 with your Husker thoughts.
At Woodhouse Cadillac, we're redefining your drive with premium performance, advanced technology, and world-class comfort. Explore our current offers happening now. Lease the 2025 Cadillac Vistic Luxury for $599 a month for 24 months and 10,000 miles per year. Browse our inventory in-store or shop online today. With approved credit, tax, title, license extra, first payment, and $299 doc fee due at signing. Must currently own a 2010 or newer competitive Conquest brand vehicle. Courtesy transportation vehicle with 1,817 miles. Offer expires 8/31/2025. See dealer for details.
I got to see my brother get married.
I
would have missed my dad's birthday.
Because I wore my seatbelt, I had the privilege of being part of his special day.
I got to go home and see my family again.
Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
I would have never had the chance to see my daughter become a doctor.
I was able to go to my brother's graduation.
I wouldn't have adopted my first pet.
And then it clicked. My seatbelt saved my life. Does it click yet?
Brought to you by NDOT Highway Safety Office.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your foundation and damaging your home. Cracks in walls and uneven floors are just a few signs your foundation is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Groundworks. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at groundworks.com. License number C142293.
It's the Ford Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Right now, get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles. Don't miss out. Head to your Midwest Ford dealers during the Labor Day Sell-a-thon. Get 0% financing with 0 down and 0 payments for up to 90 days on select Ford vehicles, plus get a complimentary 2-year maintenance plan. Hurry in. These value-driven offers end September 2nd. Only at your Midwest Ford dealers, driven by value.